In this video, I want to go over my process for my illustrations. The programs I like to use the most are Blender, Clip Studio, Paint. You can use Photoshop, DAZ Studio for my characters, and Photo Sketcher mainly for the edges of objects in my paintings. But yeah, this illustration was really fun. I spent a lot of my initial stages of my planning phase and even deep into the illustration. I spent most of it in Blender and 3D programs. I'd use things like Marvelous Designer or ZBrush, but they're very expensive, so I can't afford them at the moment. But I'm a huge fan of Blender. It's such an amazing program, and I really enjoy painting over 3D scenes and doing basically concept art, but not really concept art, so it's more like illustration. But what I'm thinking of whenever I'm working on these illustrations is usually what looks good. You know, the composition to me is the most important thing next to the story, which kind of goes hand in hand in my opinion. You know, for me, I really enjoy really strong compositional illustrations, I guess, which I'm still working on that. I can't really make dynamic illustrations. That takes a lot of time, and I technically have the time, but I'm not a very patient person, so I need to work on that. But for the most part, my illustration process consists of occasionally thumbnailing and sketching in Clip Studio Paint, sending it over into Blender or DAZ Studio and rendering it out. Then I do a paint over, and usually when I'm getting serious, everything is done in Blender. And Blender is a very powerful program, and I recommend it to anybody who's trying to become an illustrator. You gotta learn Blender a little bit. And I'll do a separate video on all of my favorite plugins and programs and add-ons for 3D. But basically, the only issue I'm running into now, well, I'm running into hundreds of issues, but one of the main issues I'm running into is I don't know how to paint materials, so that's the next thing I'm going to learn is how to paint materials and maybe, you know, shorthand for anatomy and characters for thumbnail sketches, because you can do 3D all you want, but if you can't, you know, paint a character outside of your main 3D focus, yeah, you're gonna struggle, you know, and that's what I'm struggling with. So I gotta figure that out. But, you know, gotta grind, gotta practice, gotta put in the reps. But anyway, I hope you guys like this illustration, and catch you guys in the next one.